America is safer today because of one of the top domestic terrorists in MS-13. He is off the streets. MS-13, they are organized, they are violent, they are committing homicides throughout our country. They are one of the most dangerous gangs in our country, and we are going to fight until they are completely dismantled.
Now, all of this coming as Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is visiting Central America. Yesterday, she came face-to-face with alleged Tren de Aragua members during a tour of El Salvador's notorious mega prison. That is the same prison that accepted hundreds of alleged violent Venezuelan gang members directly from the U.S. this month. Noem was there with a warning.
I want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
Promises made, promises kept as the Trump administration arrests an MS-13 leader in Virginia. Now, I want to play a couple of news clips for you, two local news clips. One of them with a news reporter talking to his mother, how she had no idea he was involved with the gang. And I also want to give a little bit of story behind MS-13. Let's check it out.
Tonight, an alleged top MS-13 leader is in custody in Northern Virginia. The feds teaming up with state and local law enforcement in a major operation to take him down. Fox 5's Nana Senyo Bonsu in Woodbridge tonight with the details.
About a mile away from here in Dale City is where agencies, including the FBI, captured a suspect connected to MS-13. Tonight, the White House is calling this operation a successful apprehension. Just before 6 o'clock this morning, SWAT teams surrounded the home of 24-year-old Henry Villatoro Santos, believed to be one of the top 3 leaders of MS-13 on the East Coast.
They are one of the most dangerous gangs in our country.
The multi-agency operation led by the FBI blocked off Chippendale Circle. According to court documents, agents breached the front and back doors of the home, released a stun grenade before pulling the suspect out of the home. Authorities say they've had their eyes on his Dale City home where Santos lives with his mom for the entire month. Some of these agents are members of a special task force created.
Real quick, these look like, it looks like a nice street, nice townhomes, and it's crazy to think that a leader of a gang can live right next door to you in a quiet neighborhood. I mean, it's crazy to think about, right?
By President Donald Trump. Their job is to locate and arrest illegal immigrants responsible for violent crimes in the country.
Over the last 4 weeks, we have gone to work untangling, gone to work putting together the cases and arresting these horrific criminals. These criminals that live in our neighborhoods.
Neighbors we spoke with still can't believe that a gang leader described as worst of the worst lived in their community.
We live in Prince William County.
Victor Angry is a Prince William County supervisor. The arrest happened in his district.
We've taken a high-profile criminal off the streets.
Santos was taken into custody on an outstanding immigration warrant. During the search of the home, officials say they found several firearms, ammunition, and 2 suppressors.
I am very ecstatically happy with the performance of today's action, and that is another step in the goal of us and public safety.
And tonight, Santos is being held at the Alexandria Adult Detention Center.
Tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot of firepower inside of his mother's house. I mean, one of the comments on this was actually pretty funny, saying, "Dang, even a top leader in MS-13 lives at home with his mom. Nobody has money." So, kind of alluding to the fact, referencing, high inflation, things like that. So, I thought that was pretty funny. But let's check out what his mother had to say about this. Here's another news clip.
All right, we've got more new video of federal agents raiding a Virginia home. It is the Big story that has captivated our region and your attention online. The feds say they arrested one of the leaders of the notorious MS-13 gang. Katie Lasso shows us more of the moment it all went down in Dale City.
You see this here on your screen. This is what neighbors woke up to, a commotion Thursday morning. We have exclusive video of the moments he was arrested, and we're hearing from his mother. Heavily armed and announcing their presence, federal investigators flooded the neighborhood and knocked down the door of this home in Dale City. The FBI says agents took 24-year-old Henry Villatoro Santos into custody. They say he's from El Salvador, was in the country illegally, and is one of the top 3 MS-13 gang leaders in the U.S. According to court documents, Santos is charged with illegal gun possession after these suppressors and guns were allegedly found in his room. The FBI says they also found signs or marks of the gang MS-13 in his bedroom. Thursday night, we went to his home. Covered in scratches, the doorbell camera knocked down. A woman answered the door.
Is it your son? Yeah.
Do you know, is he a gang member?
No.
She told us she didn't speak English.
But that is your son who was arrested?
Yeah, he is my son, but I don't know what is the problem.
Do you think he is in a gang? Do you know anything about him being in a gang or a leader of MS-13?
No.
But confirmed her son was arrested.
Are you familiar with MS-13?
What?
MS-13?
No.
Her neighbors shaken up by what happened.
We were just not aware that something like this could happen in our neighborhood.
The neighborhood is full of kids.
Victor Angry, who represents the Neabsco district in Prince William County, also reacting.
You never know who your neighbors are. The great news is that, we've gotten a criminal off the streets.
A sentiment shared by several of the neighbors we spoke with.
I'm happy and grateful that they got him.
Now he has a hearing
There you
scheduled
go.
for April 1st.
There you go. People are happy that they got him. Look, they had no idea. I've seen other news clips, local news clips, and neighbors are saying, things were quiet. They didn't expect that to happen. And that's the thing. Some of these people can just set up shop, and they do set up shop in your area, right next door to you, in your apartment building, in your town, next door to you in a townhouse, in a quiet neighborhood. I mean, some of these people lay low, and you have no idea. I've seen it happen in my area. There was a high-profile hit in the area, in a high upper class neighborhood, and some of these members were living in apartment buildings and stuff in the area. And it's crazy how you just have no idea who's living next door to you. And apparently this guy was also accused of this in high school. He was accused of being in a gang in high school and having gang affiliation. And his mom says she had no idea what he was doing. He has all these guns and all these suppressors inside of her home. Did he just lock his door when he left? Did he keep these things in a private, in an area where he was kind of he restricted her from going? Was she shielded from this? I mean, she's always at danger just because of his gang affiliation. So I wonder how much she knew, or was she really oblivious to the fact that he was in a gang? Did he hide it from her so well when he came home from doing whatever he's doing on the outside of the home? Did he just, make it look like he was just a normal guy? Did she think he had a job? I wonder what the day-to-day looks like for that type of situation. Is you can see somebody walking down the street and you think they're completely normal, and you have no idea they're top 3 leaders in a gang. He was in charge of the whole region of the United States, the Eastern United States. 24 years old, you can rise to the top of a gang. You can put that same effort in and rise to the top of, you can make a big difference in El Salvador. You could do some really good work and some really good things in your life. You could become a CEO of a company. You could do many things. If you work that hard to get to the top of the chain in the gang, why don't you put that same energy into doing something productive with your life? That's all I'm trying to say. I don't understand this, but there's money involved with it. People just get wrapped up in with the wrong people, and it leads them down a path. They see power. They have a lot of power, control. So, and that's what MS-13 is about: control and all sorts of horrible things. And I just wonder how this guy's mom didn't know. You know, I bet that, I bet when he was accused of this stuff in high school, she's like, "Oh no, not my son, not my son." A lot of mothers are in denial when their kids get in trouble, when they have run-ins with the law, and they find out these things about them. They were involved with this big drug ring and prostitution ring or whatever, or gang violence, gang affiliation. They just don't see it coming, and that's their baby, so they don't want to admit that. They don't want to accept it. And that's understandable. So here's a little bit about MS-13. For those of you who don't know, MS-13 was actually not created in Central America. They were actually created in Los Angeles. So here's a little bit of the backstory on MS-13. MS-13 was established in the 1980s on the streets of Los Angeles by Central American refugees and their children who had fled vicious civil wars. Large-scale deportations of gang-involved youth from the United States in the 1990s exported U.S. gang culture to Central America. Oh, so there was a mass deportation of gang members. And who was president in the 1990s? Bill Clinton. Between 1996 and 2002, okay, and then George Bush, the United States sent nearly 31,000 convicted criminals to Central America. Of those, some 12,000 were deported to El Salvador, where they were met with politically and economically fragile country. A politically and economically fragile country still reeling from its recently ended civil war. Gang members deported from Los Angeles took advantage of these conditions and leveraged their more professional and unified structure to ramp up recruitment, consolidate small local youth gangs into more violent and more organized groups, and expand into the street gangs that control neighborhoods throughout Central America today. Meanwhile, MS-13 and other street gangs made up predominantly of those with Central American roots spread from Los Angeles to other cities in the United States that had substantial immigrant populations. Similar known growth had seen during this time by other California-based gangs such as Bloods and Crips. Yeah, so these gangs, they just spread out across the country. They started in Los Angeles. A lot of these members were sent to El Salvador. And then, in LA, they spread out to other places. They're all over the United States. And the figure is about 10,000 in the U.S. and worldwide from what I read, 80,000 or so, maybe more. It's a lot. Big, violent, powerful gang. And it's scary stuff. These are the people you don't want to be around. And they target people here in the country, other people here in the country illegally. Not all these MS-13 members are illegal aliens. Some of them are born in the United States and they're citizens, but they get involved in the street life, and so that doesn't really matter. And of course, you have to get rid of the ones who are here illegally, and then the ones that are here legally also like to, as well as ones who are here illegally, like to target other illegal immigrant populations because they don't want to talk. They feel like they're vulnerable, and that could be a useful tool for law enforcement to use. You need witnesses and people to tell you what's going on, and kind of like eyes on the streets. So you need in some cases, you actually need them. So I just want to give you a little background on what MS-13 is about. I mean, there's a lot more to it. I want to watch some documentaries on them because it's scary stuff. And the fact that this guy was 30 minutes outside of DC, outside of where the president is, it's crazy. But I'm glad they got him. Great job to the DOJ and then Glenn Youngkin, governor of Virginia, partnering with them and taking this effort to make our community safer. That is the number one thing on my list is public safety, law and order. Get this country safe. I want people to feel safe throughout the country, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. I want people to feel safe. You want to go outside with your kids, you want to take a walk, whatever it is, without feeling like you have to look over your shoulder or feel like you're being targeted. You're going to get caught up in gang violence. So we have to get these people off of our streets. TDA, MS-13, all these other violent gangs that are here. We have to clean them up, whether you're here in the country legally or illegally. If you're in a gang, you're causing wreaking havoc on our communities, they're coming after you. So yeah, I'm glad they're making a great effort to do this. Joe Biden could have done this a long time ago, but failed to do so. Well, I will leave that right there. Hope you liked the video, and subscribe if you can, if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Take care.